Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lena. Well, my last video where I was working on a face, it was, let me see if I can find it. This one here, this right here. Well, I got a lot of thumbs up on that one, like 17. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. You know, I look at the thumbs up to measure whether you like the content or not. So 17 thumbs up is a lot for my channel. So I was thinking, oh, you like this. Maybe I should do a drawing similar because that drawing that I did that day was a little bit wonky and all. So let's just like go right into it. I'm gonna wet this page right here. So I'm leaving a lot of water for the watercolor to glide on. I think I will just splotch in a bunch of color just randomly, not even thinking about having something light here or dark here. But I will be cautious because I want to come on top of this with a face that's probably gonna be right here. Oh, you know what? This paper is buckling up. I'm just gonna mist it on the back. So, whoops. Hopefully it will not buckle up. I want to come in and sketch a face right here. So I probably won't be putting black or like super dark colors right there. That would not be likable. And maybe I should think a little bit about where I'm placing my colors. So thinking in the terms of cool and warm. And purple is such a fun color because it can kind of goes both ways. It can belong to the warm colors, but it can also be belonging to the area with the cooler colors. Because sometimes the way that purple is mixed and created, it's a mix of a cool and a warm color. So I'm thinking to just work, not putting colors that's opposite the color wheel next to each other. So I at least will not create mud in theory. In theory, right? So I'm going green now. And then I'm pushing it to the olive. I don't want to put like umber and black down on this one because I want it to just be colors. Maybe I could have gone a little bit yellow with this color right here. Like yellow right there. And from yellow, it's safe for me to venture into the reddish tones. Because with yellow, I won't be making mud. But let's say that I carry the red up towards the green, then we are having a disaster waiting there because green and red will make like a neutral. So why not put in a blue? Because blue can mix with both colors. Blue is just enhancing the green to be stronger in the green end, and in the red end it will probably just be purple, and it's gonna be like a very muddy purple. So I'm quickly going to add some cool yellow into this blue because the cooler yellow and the blue gives just a nicer purple. So that's how I would deal with areas where the green and the red accidentally looks like it's gonna clash and meet up. So see, that's what I mean with purple being it can have a leg in both camps. So now I'm gonna wash off all the green from my brush so I don't get a neutral and go back to the purple because I can work with the purple color here at the red end. But this orange is like very warm color, so I don't want to risk once again to have mud. and yellow is the opposite color of purple. So what I would do here is that I would definitely take a yellow to make, the purple pop, and then I'm gonna stop right before they meet, and then I'm gonna build in a bridge of the cool red, so that the red is becoming like a bridge between these two colors here. Yep. So far so good. I kind of like, that area up there where it's exploding into some blue tones. So let me try and see, what did I do up here? I think I used this indigo. That was likable. Yeah, it's tempting to tap off the corners with a dark. Don't really know if I should do so. Let's just see how it dries up first to begin with. I think I need more of this kind of orangey color, and it's gonna be a little bit difficult to play with the blue because once again they are opposite the color wheel, so they will create mud. But what can blue and orange work with? Yeah, once again yellow. So yellow would be a non-dangerous color to put in right here. And then it wants to turn green, so why not help it with a little bit of green color? And here I could have like this right here. And the same problem, that these two are kind of opposite each other, so they will probably create a mud, but yellow is a color that both of them can play with. And instead of creating mud, it will just create an interesting new color in between. Yeah, I like this. I like this. I think it could be fun to start with this glaze right here of just a bunch of color that's laid down on the paper. So let's dry this out. Oop, I changed my mind. Before this completely dries up, okay, I don't want it to dry up yet. So I'm just gonna lightly mist it. You know what? I want to add in some shimmer splats. I think this shimmer watercolor, when it bleeds out, when you don't splat it on a dry surface, but splat it on a wet, moist surface, it kind of bleeds up and blend super nicely into the existing background. Like this, I don't know, just a little bling bling. And I think it's super likable. I have grabbed my gold and then some sort of a teal color. The gold I think goes super well with the warm colors, and the teal got this kind of cooler tone in it. So I think that would go well with the more cooler colors. But it's not like I'm aiming my brush after a specific area on the page. I just do whatever I feel like. It's really like likable, freeing, losing up. Okay, this brush is not good for splatter. Isn't it funny? Like some brushes is like super springy, going pring, and then you get like super nice splatters. Other brushes, like this one I got right here with a more softer bristle, is not that willingly to give me like spring splatters. Yeah. That was a good idea. That was a good idea. Look what's happening up in this corner right here. Can I pull down the paper? Can you see what's going on in that corner up there? Super likable. Let me see if I can pull it up. Like what's going on in that corner up there. And love how it's just mixing itself into just a likable cluster. It's almost like a galaxy thing, you know? So yeah, you could go in with white acrylic splots. Oh my god, how did when I say it, I just have to do it. Oh, where is it? Okay, shake the bottle. I wonder how I'm gonna splotch this. Should I just go drips? Okay, can I open it? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go drips and then I'm gonna mist them out and then they're gonna appear as really white areas. Okay, since it's gonna be super visual, I should count for an uneven number. So now I got like 5 areas. Good, good number. And then I have to go in with a mister to make them unfold themselves. Yeah, what a wonderful mess. I would like to tilt my paper because it doesn't matter, you know, like I still got a lot of strange things going on, but if I tilt it up and down, then I am camouflaging that I dotted in the white. So the area of the white will kind of be washed out in a likable way instead of just being that round splot. Like look, it now the white acrylic is just adding a haze instead of being this round thing that I sprayed in. What a wet mess. I want to let this dry and see what we get. So it dried up and, you know, watercolor get pushed back a little bit. So it's not as vibrant as when it was wet. But I like what I see. I made myself a new fun tool. I just took my calligraphy ink and put into a water brush. So now I got like, you would call it a black brush pen. And I chose the water brush that has somewhat of a pointy small tip. I think it's the same as a size 2 brush. That's how narrow this tip is. And it is that because I'm a chicken. I'm a little bit afraid of like the wide brushes that can give like a fat stroke. So I'm fooling myself thinking that I can control it better with a narrow tip. But let's see, because what I'm losing here are the big expressive strokes. Because if this brush tip was bigger, I could press down and then get a very expressive fresh stroke, which I think is likable to look at. Well, over at my Patreon, I was working with a prompt for the Jane Davenport Faciary, where I found this sketch on the internet of a, a girl's outlined face, and I'm just gonna work with that same face because it's what I painted recently. So so it's in my memory, you know. Okay. Yeah, I'm procrastinating. Can you feel that? And I think I'm procrastinating because it's new for me to paint with ink. It's so unforgiving, you know. You cannot erase it and change your mind. So when it's down, you just have to love it. You know, like you just have to tell yourself that that was exactly what I was going for and I'm loving it. So, oh my God, can you see how I got like shaky hand lines? Okay, maybe I should just bite the apple and then just start with this. I want to draw a lady that's looking in this direction here. And I'm gonna lay down that brush now, and then I'm gonna come in with a wet, smaller brush to soften up that line. This one looks nice. Okay, what I did over at my Patreon was like, maybe I can redo it one more time. I just went in with water and dragged up the ink to a softer line like this. So it would be like her eyeshadow, right? Yeah, like that. And oh my god, you're so small. So let me pull down the camera. Okay, this is what I got so far. And of course that eye could be bigger. So I'm gonna build up slowly because I am a little bit intimidated by all this ink business here. It's not my go-to medium. But hey, we need to push ourselves, right? Sometimes we need to play with stuff that we are not really used to. Okay, I'm going to try and lay down the whole tip to the paper to get some sort of an eyebrow. That's some of her face. And then we need the rest of her face. Okay, I want to put in the nose. I'm just doing nostrils to begin with. Maybe I should try and just do the shape of the mouth and then with a wet brush pull out the ink to be the upper lip. What do you say to that idea? I think it's likable because then you're some sort of in control. Because like I said before, once the ink is down, it's really down. It's very difficult to change your mind with a new sketch line. So let me just get the lower part of her underlip in like this. I'm just using the ink that's on the paper, pushing it around with a brush that I just moistened up. And I kind of like what I see, so I think I'm gonna build in the nose with this. That's a really good start. Let's get in that chin. And a neck. Over at my Jane Davenport drawing phasery, I also posted this sketch, you could call it. And what I loved about it was all those unfinished lines. Yeah, I'm a chicken. Look, I'm gonna put out some ink on a palette from the water brush, and then I'm gonna wet that up, and then I'm gonna pick a real brush because now I'm gonna do some twirling motions to get her hair in, and I don't think that I can get that same whoosh with my homemade ink brush, but I need to make it a mix of both, you know, a mix of this twirly twirly thing going on here, and then the real ink brush. So it kind of looks like I painted it all with the same material, you know. And this is where I mean that if I had been bolder and picked up a wider nib on this homemade tool here, I would be able to get some very expressive strokes. I need an ear. Just gonna hint the ear, I think, right there. Okay, so far so good. Okay, this might be dry enough for me to put in some lashes. And I still got some contamination on this brush, so I'm just gonna let that pick up some of the ink to shape an eye right here. And then yeah, now we are ready to let this dry a little bit. uh, it's dry. The reason why I want it to be dry is because now I'm gonna come in with some lines for her eyeliner and her upper lip, upper eyelid. And I don't want those lines to bleed out necessarily into a wet ink. That would be like super annoying, right? I think it could be like a little darker here. Yeah. I think that this line up here is distracting. I'm just gonna carry it upwards and build up more up here of her hair. Because the eyes should be like in the middle of the face. So we have to give the illusion that her head is taller than what I sketched. So we have to build it upwards. I also think that we should have a line that kind of show just a hint of some of her features over here. Okay, now I am more content about this. Now for the weird part. I'm taking a filbert, it's like a rounded tip brush, and now I'm gonna lift off some colors, and just to test here, I'm gonna first wet an area that's not in the face. Sometimes we make the mistake when we are making faces that we are testing on the face itself, and then if what we are going to do is a disaster, you would have it in the face area. You will just hate yourself, hate life more, and thinking like, why didn't I just go in and test it on a place where it didn't kind of matter that much. So I am playing around on an area that's not the face on purpose to see how well will my watercolor be lifted off this page. And then now I got a feeling about how much can I lift to get back to the white of the paper. So now I kind of know what I'm dealing with. So now it's safe for me to go in and be more bold with my lifting. This is such a fun technique. I'm kind of, to begin with, I'm thinking highlight areas. Like, where would I put a highlight? So imagine that you had like a white marker in your hand. Where would you go nuts with that white marker? And that's where you should try and lift. It doesn't take much before the shape of the face suddenly is getting more and more visual to you. Here I'm taking off because I could glaze in a blush. You probably would take off up here too, right? And then I feel that I need to be very careful not bumping into the ink. If you don't want to play around with this ink, I think you could use like black watercolor. It could be fun. I got like broken line work here. It could be fun that the line work is replaced with a highlight to carry on the illusion of how I think her neck would be drawn in. So trying to lift that off. This flower here, I think the petal here, even though it's got like beautiful semi-granulation from the watercolor, could be nice if I got some sort of highlights on some of these petals. In my head, I'm thinking that she's carrying like a big flower as a hat, but I do see that I need to come in and carve out that flower some more. Yeah, I like her. Now this is like semi-moist, but I'm going in anyway with some red colors to be the blush. So it's just gonna be a glaze. And if you don't know how to end it, like I don't know how to end it near the highlights, just dab off with a paper towel. I like, that splotchiness. So I actually think that we should be brave and come in with a purple color up here and see if we could make it follow the line of the nose. Just acting like a paint and a happy accident of a paint splotch, because we know that it was not a happy accident. It was something that we painted in, but if we can build the illusion of it was just happy accident, that would be cool. I think I would like some of the red to appear on the nose. I'm lifting up that ink right there, so I'm just quickly abort the situation, move away from that, because I am lifting up that. It's an ink that's not waterproof. Super annoying. So if you have like waterproof ink in your stash, I would recommend grabbing that for this drill right here, because it is gonna darken up your glaze color a bunch. So I'm being very like generous with the red pigments on her lips because I know that that black ink is going to darken it up. Yeah, I like it. She's happy. She looks cute. I don't like that hard edge that I got right there from putting down her blush. So I'm just gonna soften that up with a damp brush. With a damp brush. Um, Over here, I think I should have a blush color, but not necessarily red. I'm thinking more like turquoise. So I'm gonna mix my own turquoise by taking a Viridian and putting in a little bit of ultramarine. And then I'm gonna try and audition it right here. Yeah, can you see that was a good call. She could have like a turquoise blush right there. And then just just going over it, I'm what is it called it? I'm supervising the area to make sure that I don't get a hard edge. I like that. I think she's so cute. I think I would like to drag down the turquoise down here as some sort of a shading color for her neck. And I think I would go like traditional round shade. Just pushing that back a little bit. Um, I got a purple color that would be fun to use up here where her hairline might leave some shadow. And then I think that I would use that same purple to push back this ear right here to make the illusion that it's further back. And then I think that I would go back to this nose tip that now is drying up. Just remove that hard edge I had right there. And then I'm gonna grab my yellow and bring in a little bit of warmth to the face by adding it in. Just I need a dark color here to make a shadow, and I think I'm gonna pick the olive color because we are going for that multicolored face anyway, right? And I think that would be fun to use underneath the nose also. The nose is getting a little bit of a problem now. Sometimes when you draw and paint, you can just tell that something is gonna be an issue, and that's how I feel about this nose. And I'm working with that ink that I don't really know how it behaves. I actually think that this area right here could be yellow for some reason. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull in that color. And maybe I could have a little bit of yellow. Maybe on the lips actually. Maybe that's what we need. Just a yellow color coming out here. Okay, let's work on her head. The flower and whatnot's going on up here. She's like very slim and narrow, so I think she could carry some volume up here in her hair. And I think I'm gonna get the volume with some blurred out ink lines in this area here. And then hopefully I can create something fantastic as a flower. Oh man, I think I should start darken up some of the colors. Like maybe see, I'm gonna see how it's gonna work together with that black ink. Just blotting it in. We could have like a totally ultramarine going on here. I'm just trying to follow the color scheme of what's already on the paper, and then we have some fresh green here. And over here in the center, I'm thinking indigo. And then I'm thinking maybe just a whoosh of that indigo down here. And indigo is like a likable color, so I think that I would like to top off some of her hair color with that indigo. So now we get this idea that she's got an indigo color in her hair. There was a weird mark that I made right there. I don't know if I can take it back. I'm not sure I can take back that mark. So instead, let's make it into an earring. Now it's a piece of jewelry instead. Should I put like a strong red right there? You know, it is some sort of a flower, right? But if I just put in a red. Maybe it will maintain the illusion of a flower. I really, really like what's going on in her hair. Now I'm just kind of messing with it. This, I like that she's got that eyeshadow, but I just wish that the lines were sort of softer in a way. I think now it's, yeah, I don't know what to think about that. Maybe her nostril could need just a smidgen of the red, just to show that it's a nostril. And it's probably gonna dry up with a hard edge. I just need to accept it because I got like bad experience with softening up the ink. It will immediately just start to dissolve into a dark color. Okay, I want this earlobe to be reddish because I just want it to. So I'm gonna tap off some of the color so I get a brighter piece of paper to make the red shine through like this. Hopefully it will be pushed back when it dries so it's not so red. I think that line right there is disturbing because it kind of gives the illusion that her neck is starting up here. So I will come in and just suggest her neck here, and it's gonna look really weird, I know. Yeah, I should draw in. I'm gonna draw in another earring because you know what? That line right there might be misread as a neckline. So, and this is still wet, so I'm not gonna put in a black ink dot right there because it's gonna bleed out like nobody's business. Okay, she's almost there. I just need two things. I need to straighten up that nose line here. And lucky me, I can do it by lifting off some color. And then I need to lift off some of the white in her eyes. You know, get back to some of this white. If you don't want to, let's say you're painting along with me. If you don't want to sit and fiddle with the eye and the white, you can take acrylic marker and get back some of this white. I need a highlight in the eye also. I got no clue if I can lift it off, but if I could, I really would prefer to lift off a highlight because you know what? My acrylic markers are just leaving a mess. I'm not able to. I'm not allowed to. Okay, I need to go in with an acrylic marker. Oh no. Now you will see what I mean that they leave a mess. It's just very unpredictable. And then I need a round shape for the eye that's like a controlled line. So I'm actually picking up a pen to do that with. Because a pen is more like a controllable than the brush homemade brush pen that I have. I think I'm gonna do some lashes with this fine line. And it's just a fantasy drawing, so I can go nuts with the lashes. Okay, guys, let's work with that eye. What if I try and lift off some of this eye color here? I got a little bit of strange color going on. You know, the ink is spreading out into what it's made out of, and apparently it's made out of some red pigment. So I got a brown eye. It's okay, she can be my brown-eyed girl. She's my brown-eyed girl. And now for that. Yeah, look how it's just too much with that acrylic. What the heck? Now I'm going crazy with this acrylic. Now it's turning into something completely different with all this marker business here. It's okay. Nobody said that she should be like super realistic. This is fun. I think it's fun. I think her profile is still so narrow and thin, so I want to work with more, you know, those hairlines there. But I wanted like this could be like a sharp edge. So what about making like a blurry edge on this part here? So I'm actually taking the watercolor now because now I want something that's really soft. Just an illusion of something super, super soft. I think I have room for one more brush right there. Wouldn't you say so? I think. Not brush, but flower maybe. So I want to go in and make an imaginary flower. Because now there's like no doubt that it's floral that's going on here and not some sort of hair. I need to build up that white highlight. It wants to disappear constantly. Just imagine if I could get a wet line highlight on her eye. Is it like asking for miracles? Okay, maybe I should test that this works first. On a piece of paper. Good Lord, I'm so glad that I tested it. It has picked up a green color from the last time that I used it. I'm so bad at not cleaning my supplies before I tuck them back into bed. That's a very bad habit, if you ask me. I think I have a very interesting eye now. And she's not looking sad, but she's looking interesting now. I'm very close to be finished. I like her eye, and I like that it's so big. I would love to get some colors into the flowers. And of course I'm thinking red. So to meet this expectation of a galaxy background and everything, I'm gonna color each petal just differently, hoping that it will give that illusion of we are working with galaxy stuff. I got no idea how that's gonna dry up. It looks like a hot mess if you ask me. I cannot put in the center yet because it will bleed out into the petals because the petals are still wet. But what I can do is to make some sort of different color to this. I can add in some Prussian, I think. I can just work a little bit with that petal going on here to make that look more like dynamic. Um, Guys, I think I'm so close to say that this is done. Is she naked? I hope not. I don't think that I should put in any colors that will give her some sort of dress because I don't really see like her shoulder would end here. I actually just like the way she's just a part of the paper. Still waiting for this to dry. I should hit it with a heat gun. Okay, I got an idea for the center of the flower. It's gonna be like a gold dot from a Krylon pen. And then I'm just gonna dot in her jewelry. Oops, looks like I forgot to attach that line from her earring right here. Yeah. That is bleeding like crazy, creating some annoying mess. So let me just dab it off. I'm just dabbing it off. Hopefully it will dry nicer. And now I think I will call her done. This is her face. I could give her a little bit more highlight here on the... Should it be? I don't want to change the color. No, I'm just gonna leave her. You know what? I really like that she's got this kind of blush on her face. But yeah, I would call it done. When is it really done? I don't know. It's one of those drawings that you feel when you're flipping through it and encounter it later on down the road. You would be like, oh, I could add a little bit of this and that. And that's just likable. Thank you for watching along. It was very fun, and I wish you a wonderful weekend. Bye bye.